The first bite seemed very weird. The second bite didn't seem as odd, but there's definitely like... You gonna be okay?
Yes, I'm gonna get through this bite.
Are you gonna get through? Oh my gosh, seriously? Wow. What's up everybody, welcome back to Vegan Yak. I'm Walter and today we're tasting some vegan eggs. Yeah, that's right, we're gonna do a little face-off between some vegan eggs. We have 3 different kinds that we're gonna do. We've got one that is a home-based, making it from scratch, which I got the recipe online. I will link that down in the description below. We're gonna compare that to the Just Egg, and then we're gonna compare that to the Follow Your Heart vegan egg. I think it's pretty cool. I haven't done any of the making my own eggs from scratch at home, so this will be the first time doing that. I also haven't tried the Follow Your Heart egg. I have had Just Egg before, but it'll be nice to compare it to these other ones, and that way we can see which one is the best. Also, what's cool about these different vegan eggs is they all have a different base. The one that we're making at home is a chickpea flour base. The Just Egg is made primarily out of, I think it's mung bean, and then the Follow Your Heart is mostly a soy base. So 3 different types of eggs, we'll see which one is the best. And before you get on my back about me being on my whole food plant-based challenge with no oil, today is Sunday. It is my cheat day, so it'll be okay. I will log all of my calories as well too, just so that way I'm staying within the parameters of my challenge. If you have no idea what I'm talking about there, then you should go check out this video that I'll link above, where I talk about the challenge that I'm on, trying to lose some weight and become healthier, so you can go check that out. And while you're at it, if you're looking for some information and tips on how to successfully go vegan and stay vegan, go ahead and subscribe to the channel down below and hit that notification bell so that way next week when I have another video coming out and I'm yakking about something else vegan, you'll be the first to know. Let's make some eggs. Okay, so the first vegan egg that we're gonna start with is the homemade one because that'll probably take the most amount of time, even though the recipe actually looks pretty simple. So let's get started with the ingredients. What we'll need for this one is a ½ cup of chickpea flour, a ½ cup of soy milk, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. We're gonna put in a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, then we have some oil for the pan, and then there were some seasonings that were put in, which is a ½ teaspoon of turmeric, a ½ teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, and the last part was a 1/4 teaspoon of black salt. Now we actually don't have black salt because the local store didn't have any that we could easily get, but we substituted it for pink Himalayan salt, which will be a little bit different. Black salt is what's supposed to give it its eggy flavor, so it might be a little bit less eggy, but it should probably still be pretty good. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started making this one. Okay, to get started, we actually just dump all of these ingredients into the bowl, and then we're just gonna whisk them together, and that should make the mixture, and then we cook it. So, like I said, it should be pretty easy. Okay, we heated our pan and oiled it, so now we're gonna just pour in our mixture. Okay, now the recipe says that we should heat it until it starts to firm up like a pancake, and then we'll start to scramble it and flip it around until it's no longer wet. Okay, it looks like we're getting some good bubbles here, so I'm going to attempt to break this up and start to scramble it. Oh, it did get a little bit maybe too pancakey on that side, but we'll still break it up. I mean, it's definitely fluffy, but it's definitely looking more like a squashed pancake than it is looking like eggs, for sure. All right, so we're gonna taste this homemade egg, and with me I have Brianna from Breezy Vegan. If you haven't checked out her channel yet, you should go do that. I'll also link a link to her channel in the description below.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Are you ready to give these home eggs, vegan eggs, a shot?
Yeah, they actually smell good, so.
They smell okay. I'm not super happy with how they look. You know, it's just, they look sort of like an egg almost, but they look just like really dense cake. I mean, it looks like a broken up pancake. So let's just taste it, I guess, and see.
They're kind of fluffy like an egg, but they're really yellow. They look like turmeric.
Yeah, well, there's turmeric in there, so. The flavor is not terrible. it doesn't quite hit like an eggy flavor and that could be because we just don't have like the black salt, might have helped a little bit there. But it really just tastes more like a savory type of pancake. The texture is completely off. It's nothing like eggs at all.
Yeah. But it's good. I think it's yummy. Like, especially if you mixed it in with some potatoes and some chorizo and put it in a burrito. Yeah, it'd be good.
Yeah, which we don't typically eat just eggs by themselves. We would normally do like breakfast burritos anyway. So hot sauce, you get some vegan cheese in there, and potatoes, something else. Yeah, some soy chorizo or something. That could potentially be pretty good. I could see that being great. But if somebody served this to me and was like, oh yeah, this is like vegan eggs, especially knowing like Just Egg and other options, this would fool nobody. This is not a recipe that's going to be like, oh, this is just like eggs. It's flavorful, it's tasty, I could see myself eating it, but it's nothing like eggs at all. Okay, so for our scores for the homemade vegan egg, what do you think?
On a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't really like eggs, but I did like it. Like, I'm gonna save the rest for later and have another little burrito. So that is telling, because even when we have Just Egg, I usually have to mix it with stuff, but this I could just eat a burrito just like this. So I like it, but it's not really like eggs at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 6.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10 because the flavor is okay. I could eat it and stuff, but I would never see myself like choosing that over one of the other options if I had it available. The flavor's okay, but it is absolutely nothing like egg. So if that's your scale, it'd be a 0 out of 10. But I will give it a 5 out of 10 overall. Okay, now let's go ahead and move on to the Just Egg.
Yeah, my tummy's ready for it.
Okay, for the Just Egg, it's nice because there's no preparation. You open the little jug and you pour it in. And then you cook it and you scramble it just like an egg. So it definitely gets convenience points. As you can tell, it's already starting to like fluff up kind of like a normal egg would do. It is sticking to the bottom, but that happened with the other one as well. It was pretty hard to clean the pan, so not too different there. But look at that. I mean, it's already starting to fluff up like pretty much just like a scrambled egg. Pretty impressive. Okay, now we're gonna try the Just Egg, and so far, I mean, I've already had it, but I'm always impressed with how it cooks. It's amazing how it starts to fluff just like a scrambled egg would. It looks just like egg, you know, apropos for the name, I guess. But it looks just like it, especially with a little dash of salt and pepper on it. I mean, it looks just like egg. So let's go ahead and give it a taste.
So, mine has no seasoning on it. So it kind of just tastes like boring egg, but yeah, it's not bad.
Mine has salt and pepper on it. I put a little dash of that on there. The taste is good. It's not perfectly how I remember eggs still. So it's not like quite the exact same flavor there, but it's definitely closer than the homemade one. The texture is closer than the homemade one. And if it wasn't just by itself, if it's in something else, especially again like a breakfast burrito or some other type of scramble, I really do think you would be getting close to fooling meat eaters on this one. In fact, they've gone out and done taste tests with Just Egg. They've handed it out to people, and people did not know the difference. So it is on the level where you could be, you know, really pleasing a potential like meat eater, someone that's used to eating animal products, used to eating eggs. So overall, really good. Okay, now for the scores for Just Egg. What do you think?
Probably gonna have to give them a 9.5 out of 10 because other than the slight gushiness and not being able to cook them like perfectly like how I used to cook my eggs, they taste really spot on. The way they cook is just like eggs, and they taste good, especially because I know they taste good once I add seasonings and stuff like that, and I would have added seasonings to eggs back in the day anyways. So with all of that, they're pretty spot on and good, and you can have a breakfast burrito with them, or I bet you could do an omelet too. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good job, guys.
Yep, definitely. I would say I'm gonna be similar. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. I mean, it's not quite perfect because of the texture. The flavor isn't 100%, but man, it's really close. So overall, I think Just Egg's gonna be hard to beat. They're, I think so far, the best for sure. So we're moving on to the last vegan egg that we're gonna try, which is this Follow Your Heart vegan egg, which is soy. And what's cool about it is it has some fun packaging, and we've always looked at it and gone, oh, that looks like a fun one. We just never bought it because we've mostly just got Just Egg and tried that instead for breakfast burritos and all the other things that we do. But I'm very curious to see what's inside of this packaging and how it looks. So let's find out. All right, so let's open this thing up here. Is this the wrong side? Okay, let's open this thing up. No, that's the right side. Oh, it says cut here. Okay. First, I have to figure out how to open the package. So far, it's going swell. Oh, it's not eggs at all. It's just a gigantic bag. Well, now we know. And some sort of little coupon or something. What is this? Okay, so it came with this little like tip sheet too of how you could get some fluffier eggs or if you're baking, so that might be useful. And it came with a classic French toast recipe. So if you're interested in that, that's in there as well. Okay, so for this one, it says that we need 2 tablespoons for each egg. We're gonna make 2 eggs worth. So I'm going to do 4 tablespoons total. It says on the package that it has like 10 to 12 eggs total, so that should be something. The other kind of annoying part about this is that it asks for ice cold water. So you do have to chill your water, which we did with some ice and then just strain the ice out, but hopefully this is cold enough. But then it just says you pour this in, which is a half a cup to 2 tablespoons of the egg mixture. And then it says you whisk it together. So let's see. Oh, it definitely like has an eggy smell that's coming off of that, which I think this one does have black salt in it, so that wouldn't be surprising. Ooh, yeah, that smells like egg. All right, now we're just gonna pour this in. It looks just like super thick. Ooh, the smell is so strong on this one. It almost makes it hard to like cook with because it's just so smelly. I would say it's not as impressive as the Just Egg as far as like the looks of when it's cooking. And it's so thick, but it's starting to look like egg, so that's something. The one thing that's nice so far about cooking this is that it's really not getting stuck to the bottom of the pan. You know, it's still firming up, but it's not like, it's not burning or anything and getting stuck to the bottom, which is actually not very egg-like, but it's nice because we're not having to worry about this gigantic mess of cleaning this pan. Okay, so we're gonna try the Follow Your Heart one, which, oh man, I have such mixed emotions about before going into this because it looks like egg, especially with the dash of salt and pepper on it. You got a lot more for what you're paying for. It made a lot of eggs. I mean, and it cost about the same as 1 carton of Just Egg, but I think it would make double or triple that amount. So yeah, I mean, so far that's really impressive. The smell is very off-putting, so I guess we're gonna see what the flavor is like, but
yeah. Normally to feed like us 2 and then 2 of our friends breakfast burritos, we have to go through like 4 bottles of the Just Egg, which would end up being, because they cost like $6 on average, so that would be like $24 just to feed us eggs. And then with the Follow Your Heart, I think we could feed all of us with just 1 package, and they're $7. So if you're trying to save money by buying one that's less priced, you're actually gonna get more out of the Follow Your Heart. But we're not sure how they taste yet, so.
Let's find out. The texture definitely seems like egg. It's got that rubbery type of bounce to it, that's fluffy.
It almost feels like coagulated cheese.
Okay.
Oh my God.
There she goes.
Shut up. Feels like a weird taste.
Yeah, the first bite, if we can make it through a take without her gagging. The first bite seemed very weird. The second bite didn't seem as odd, but there's definitely like, you gonna be okay?
Yes, I'm gonna get through this bite.
Are you gonna get through? Oh my gosh, seriously? Wow. All right, well that happened. She basically threw up. This isn't even gagging anymore. She like full on like threw up.
I just had to spit it out of my mouth. It was
In a throw up type of fashion. So that's probably not a glowing review of Follow Your Heart, but I'm definitely not that put off by it. It's got a weird flavor on the first bite. The second bite still has that weird flavor, but you get kind of more, it's like you're expecting it. But it is weird. I can't put my finger on what it is. It doesn't taste very eggy. The texture's almost there. The aftertaste is like, the aftertaste is almost more eggy than the first taste actually, because now I'm tasting like the black salt and that kind of like a little bit more sulfur type of taste, but the taste isn't really close to egg and the texture isn't super close either. Neither are as close as the just egg for sure.
Yeah, no, the texture actually isn't bad. It was definitely like the taste that kept getting me. Like I kept catching like, for lack of a better word, whiffs of the taste in my mouth. And then I was like, oh God. And
Are you really gonna try another bite of this?
I'm gonna try it with hot sauce to see, cause I don't know.
You might be in for a show, everyone.
Maybe if it's mixed in with potatoes and chorizo and like other stuff, then it would taste good. It's just like alone in a burrito, not really my favorite so far, but I also only had one bite.
Let's see.
Oh yeah. Now that you mention it, I have like a sulfur taste in my mouth.
The aftertaste is very strong.
Yeah.
But that's more eggy than like the initial taste.
Yeah, the
It's
initial
weird.
taste almost kind of just tastes like chemically. I don't want to say that
Yeah.
necessarily, but it tastes like something that I don't know what it tastes like. And then afterwards you get the eggy aftertaste. Okay, hot sauce it up.
No, there's something that's just off about the flavor. Even with the salt and the pepper, it's not quite eggy.
Even like smothered in sambal elec, which is like a really strong hot sauce. I don't know, it still just wasn't like, oh yeah, this is great, this is yummy. It was like, there was still something just off about it.
Okay, let's go ahead and give Follow Your Heart some scores.
Okay, so this may come as a shock, but I'm actually gonna go ahead and give them a 3.5 out of 10. Not like a 1, like when I gag, I usually give 2 products, but only because they do look like eggs. They cooked pretty well and they smell like eggs, and so they're a lot like eggs. So they have to get some points for that. But I don't like the taste. If they would just work on that taste, maybe get rid of the sulfur smell because it's unnecessary, and then maybe that taste would go down. I'm not sure if they're connected, but yeah, and it leaves like a weird aftertaste in your mouth. I don't want to taste eggs after I'm done with eggs. I don't think anybody does. So yeah, 3.5 out of 10 because they are a lot like eggs, but I don't like the taste.
I'm gonna also give them like the same type of score. I didn't even gag on them, but I'll give them like a 3 out of 10. I can't really see myself buying this ever again, which is disappointing because especially the value seems to be there. They just need to work on their flavor because the flavor is so far off. The texture is close, but the flavor is so far off that it's actually not really that enjoyable. So I'll just give it a 3 out of 10. All right, there you have it. I think if you're gonna go buy a vegan egg, you should buy Just Egg. Because I think it's your best option. Otherwise, if you're trying to save money or something else, do the one that's at home or find another recipe. There's plenty of other ones out there, including vegan recipes for like sunny side up eggs so you can have a soft yolk. There's plenty of other options as well.
Yeah, and one great thing about the at-home option, I think, is that you know everything that's going into it, so there's no like mystery ingredients that you have to wonder about. So yeah, I just think that's kind of cool if you're trying to be a little bit more natural with the things that you're putting in your body, then definitely a good option, and it tastes yummy, so.
Yeah.
But not that much like egg.
No, but overall still worth a shot. So thanks Easy Breezy for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was mostly pleasant.
Yeah, thanks for gagging for us, as usual. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stop looking at what you can't do and start looking at what you can do. Thanks.